I think most of the time we deceive ourselves because we're not trying very hard to be honest with ourselves. We cut ourselves some slack. We allow ourselves certain deceptions. I always think of the old movie Gone with the Wind. Scarlett O'Hara in there will say, "I'll think about that tomorrow." It's one of the repeated classical lines in the movie. And well, this is how we are. I've done wrong to my friend. I'll think about that tomorrow. Self-deception can take several forms. One form that it can take is I try to bury my knowledge of the wrong that I did. I just try not to think about it, like Scarlett O'Hara. One other form that it can take is I do think about it, but I try to convince myself that it wasn't wrong. And conscience takes its revenge. Let's say, for instance, that I've treated my friend really unjustly, really badly, and my conscience is at me, but I do not want to repent. Well, one way to placate my conscience, which is the voice of God in me, is to repent, to confess to my friend. That's hard. I did wrong. I'm really sorry. I hope we can be reconciled. That's very hard. The other, though, which I delude myself into thinking this is easier, is I try to convince myself he really deserved it. He really deserved it. And if I convince myself that he deserved it so that it was okay that I treated him badly, well, then what else? What follows from that? What follows from that is a person that bad, he deserves a lot of bad treatment. So I might start treating him even worse. I first came across that observation. We've talked about C.S. Lewis several times. He pointed out, he said, have you ever noticed that when you treat somebody badly, you start treating him worse and worse? And I thought, what? Yes, that's true. Why is that? I think this is why. It's the revenge of conscience. Um, you can think of conscience as something like a traffic cop. The traffic cop is behind you. You're speeding, and if your will is in pretty good shape, you're going to pull over and let him give you a ticket and say, "Oh, gee, I shouldn't have done that." You accept the correction, and that's with a healthy functioning conscience. But if you want to, there's another way of doing it. You may say, well, he's following me again. I've had so many tickets that they took away my license. If they catch me now, they're going to impound my car and they're going to put me in jail for a few days. And so I speed up to get away from the cop instead of letting him pull me over. And then maybe he accelerates and he's still after me. So I have to turn the wrong way down a one-way street. And then he's still after me. And now I'm really in big trouble. So I lean out the window of the car and I start shooting at him. Now, we do that with our consciences too. And we dig ourselves deeper and deeper into
You just
wrong.
described my last year at QT, by the way. So
Did I? Well, yeah, it describes some early episodes in my life too. Think about what you have to do in order to rationalize abortion, for instance. This is shooting at the cop. You can't not know. This is one of the things written on the heart. You can't not know that it's wrong to deliberately take innocent human life. So you're going to either have to try to convince yourself that it wasn't really deliberate. Oh, I had to do it, or it wasn't really a taking, or it wasn't really a life. The baby's not really alive. It's just sort of a clot of the tissue or something. Or you have to convince yourself that the baby isn't human. It is not a dog or a porpoise growing in there, or maybe not a human, but not really human because not a human person. What do you mean by a human person? Oh, somebody who can communicate well and carry out plans. Well, born babies can't do that either. Neither can toddlers. Teenagers can't do it very well. Most of us are not very good at that until we're maybe 25. So are we not persons either?